possibly.
Yeah, I usually do that too, but we'll see what these two do. Maybe we'll learn something new. Ooh, we've got one Sang start and one Link's House start. I'm right on the money.
Nice.
Ooh, a nice 300 rupees. That's always nice to start with.
Another good reason for Uncle Route, although the Ninban isn't really going that way. Well, I guess he is.
Oh, hey. That's already neat. I've never thought of killing that guard first for the tree pool here.
Looks like DarkDyllon is going for
DarkDyllon is going for the
strats.
immediate Houlihan. Yeah.
Which is actually a nice route. I saw Fred Coughlin doing that the other day, and it seemed pretty good. Because there's so many times in V26 where you're just getting towards Moldorm Cave and you need like 100 rupees.
Yeah, exactly. So starting off with an initial just 225 rupees right off the bat, it's pretty nice. If nothing else, it allows you to buy some bombs in the Kakariko Village shop. Ooh, and a hook shot on Ninban's side from... Was it the uncle or was it the chested uncle? I didn't actually pay attention.
One of those two.
Still, that's always a nice item to start with. It saves you from having to possibly deal with any issue in Ganon's Tower.
Looks like DarkDyllon is doing the lower Kakariko route, which is a pretty safe route. Gives you the bomb, typically.
Well, I guess is he gonna... Yeah, he's got to check the bushes. Ooh. Yeah, got a bomb out of it, which is pretty much what you want. So some people go for 2 bombs or 3 bombs there. You know, depends a bit. 3 bombs are guaranteed to be able to check the maze here. And
I think with
and then with this amount of rupees, it's not really worth the trouble, I guess.
Yeah, with 525 rupees, you can just buy 10, and you're already at the south side of Kakariko.
Wow, that's a disappointing library right there. Just 5 rupees. I also had a first map check, but I was paying attention to DarkDyllon's stream.
What's that mean? That's why we have trackers.
Yeah.
Looks like,
let's see. We've
2
got
non-important crystals.
Hera and Crystal Eastern and Desert. And some bombs are just right there, north of Kakariko. The bombs, really, no worries, huh?
Yeah, that's probably one of the nicest place to find bombs.
Yeah,
it's like your last ditch effort.
Yeah, exactly. It means you can just take a really nice route through the north of Kakariko and go down. Minimal backtracking. Oh, and a bottle in the chicken house. That's also nice. It's always nice when you can do the immediacy kit check.
Yeah, it's
saves
definitely...
you from possibly forgetting it later.
Yeah, it's definitely nice because sometimes, especially in like the standard mode, you can get a bottle like in Link's house and then forget about it by the time you're in Kakariko.
Oh my god. That's
wow, look at this stacked Kakariko.
That's super nice.
It's another thing that's hard to forget about.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea how often I get the flute here in Kakariko Village and I completely forget about actually going and getting the swag duck. I don't know if does this channel have the swag duck emote. Oh well, even if it doesn't, just put a couple in chat, please.
We've got a moon pearl too on Ninban's side.
Ooh, we've got silver arrows on Ninban's side.
Very stacked Thief's Hut.
Yeah.
It's a stacked Kakariko in general so far.
Yeah, now they're going for a little high five in the well. Ooh, and the lamp. That's also always a nice thing to find early.
Yeah, it's also a little scary because it might signify that Aga 1 is required.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Also, Eater might be handy.
If they could find a sword before they get to Moldorm Cave, that's a nice way to clear out that area.
Nice way to clear that out. So much easier than anything else. Ooh, the merchant has also had a good deal. Didn't notice that before. It's always nice when you pay 100 and get 200 back, you know?
I don't think either player got the chicken clip, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, oh, you can't have everything here.
Can't be that stacked.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering where the players are going to go after this, especially with the flute.
I'd be tempted to just flute to the dam, but maybe somebody will make an interesting play. Maybe they'll go for Dead Mountain first. I mean, they do have the lamb, so the
Yeah.
man is an easy check, and it gives you a really nice save and quit point too.
Although the save and quit is a lot less important with the flute.
With the flute, that's true. That's absolutely true. It's still nice there sometimes. Ooh, and DarkDyllon didn't have anything killed since the last 3 pulls, so didn't get anything there. Ninban is freeing his smack duck. And I guess he's just gonna finish off the south of Kakariko. And to DarkDyllon, he's gonna go for a quick lumberjack cave check.
Yep, looks like they
actually
more or less took opposite routes.
Yeah, they more or less mirrored each other. It's always funny to see. I think they'll actually finish their checks at roughly the same time too. It'll be interesting to see what they flute off to next.
I don't believe I've seen either. Sorry.
Off to the dam.
Yeah, I don't believe I've seen either of these runners in action before. I did see their qualifier results, and they both seem pretty comparable.
Yeah, that's cool. I always like it's much more fun when it's close race.
Definitely. It looks like DarkDyllon is gonna just go to the dam and probably through the rest of South Hyrule.
Yeah, I do like the needless little shot clip Ninban did there. It's always a nice little trick when you have the chills here.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling to be able to only go into the dam once, at least in that case.
Yeah, they might have to return to Swamp, of course, but they've also got a nice weapon here in the form of a hook shot for the mini Molmon cave.
Yeah, if they behave at least.
Yeah.
And then getting pretty good luck so far. Oh, no, never mind.
Ooh, no, never mind.
Too soon.
It's always the mini troll dorms that get you. Let's see what does our mini Molom cave hold. Will it be a hype cave or will it just be a cave? It's not a rupees, that's for sure. Heart contained. Ooh, 2 pieces of hearts. That's. I mean, all the rupees are nice at least. At least for now they're basically good for cash for the rest of the run.
And DarkDyllon demonstrating why the bomb strats are really painful.
Yeah. It's really nice when you can get those 2 on the left at the same time with 1 bomb there. So it's payoffs there.
It takes a lot of timing to be able to do it as well. Because sometimes you can just bomb yourself off the ledge and then take an extra heart of damage, or if you're a bit too late or a bit too early, one of them will just glide up and away, and then you'll hit nothing.
Ooh, and the glove in the Ice Rod Cave, that's also a nice find. And they're also both going for that. That's good, that's good. It keeps things close.
Well, it's a good thing that both of them are checking it. Ninban is pretty easily doing the fake flippers.
Yeah, that was a really quick setup, especially from the right side, but doesn't have the convenient bush and such to position yourself with.
I like this route that Ninban is taking because he's probably going to do a fake flipper out of the Hobo Bridge area and then go check the Hylia Island and then warp to Zora.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get all those items done in one go. It's actually kind of interesting how I'm pretty certain this fake flipper from Hobo has become a lot more common tech in this in the recent days and was before the Waterfall of Wishing had its own chests in it.
Yeah, I really like the Waterfall of Wishing change just because it, I think, gives you a better reason to check Zora early on,
Yeah.
which is typically a very out-of-the-way area, or at least
it used to
was
be.
In the past.
It used to be one of those areas you check quite late just because it's so out of the way.
At least in my opinion, a side effect of that is making catfish seem a bit more out of the way.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's super rad now that you do the mirror from catfish into Zora play.
And also mirror is, at least in my observation,
We found a frost rod and a sword in the Waterfall of Fishing that makes this fake flippering easily worth it. I mean, the frost rod might not be needed. We don't know if Turtle Rock is required yet, but it's always nice to have that thing because, well...
At the very least, you can do swag strats in Zelda's Room and Escape.
Oh yeah, Trevor God and Not a God, always fun.
Ninban showing off the water walking glitch, which saves a lot of time.
Saves so much time. It's also one of the reasons why I think Waterfall of Wishing changes played off really nicely, because you never normally do that before with the old fake flippers. Well, people rarely would. I think I've seen some of the high tier runners do actual fake flippers throughout the entirety of Zora's domain, but it's so risky.
I always get a little bit nervous seeing players get going into the Waterfall of Wishing, especially if a Zora is shooting at them.
Oh yeah, that Zora can be a real sniper.
But thankfully neither of the runners had gotten hit by it.
DarkDyllon is taking the back way into Escape now. Let's see the map, and a piece of heart, and the key, so he could check more now. Yeah, he's going for that.
I wonder if he's going to go all the way back, or just save and quit after this chest.
Can you go all the way back? I thought the door was locked at the very entrance of this area.
I'm not sure. I know that they made it permanently open in open mode, at least entering it. I thought it was
I just thought it
worked
shut
the other way.
behind you.
Maybe someone in chat can illuminate us.
Yeah, I'm actually not certain. I don't think I've ever actually tried, now I think about it.
You also need to pay close attention to your key count in this area. It's very easy to go through this area and not realize you don't have the keys to proceed. But Ninban found a key in that first 3 chest room and was able to get at least to that dark chest room.
Yep. It's got him a red potion, which is... It's a very nice item to have. Always nice to have all those extra safeties. Looks like DarkDyllon in the meantime is going to check our good friend Saha's something or another.
Sarsaparilla.
So, thank you for filling us in on the pack entry only being one way.
I wonder if DarkDyllon's going to go into Eastern.
Yeah, me too. Ooh, and the fire rods hiding in the back of Sarsaparillas' hut.
Early fire and ice rod is also kind of a bad sign.
Yeah. Are we gonna see Fighter Sword Mochila and Fighter Sword Trinax strats now? I hope not for these two, because those are very painful.
Yeah. Or at least, like, give them half magic. I mean, they have a lot of money for potions if need be, and they flute to get there. So...
Yeah. Ooh. You really don't want to have to do that if you don't have to. Let's see now. Ninban is checking Spectacle Rock. On top of it is nothing good, and in it is...
nothing.
that thing. Yeah, that looked like an upgrade of some sort.
It was a 5-bomb max upgrade.
Wow. I was momentarily distracted. I thought I saw something gold and I was like, oh man, is that the Titan's bits? But no, it wasn't. This hookshot means I can check East Dead Mountain too.
Yeah,
Oh,
hopefully.
wait. Wow, DarkDyllon doesn't have the hookshot. Huh.
Where was Hookshot?
That's a good question. Oh, was that Oh yeah, that was Uncle, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah, DarkDyllon didn't check Uncle.
Ooh, that's unfortunate, because that might make a real difference if there's anything good here.
And this is where I'd be hoping that every chest is mitts, because
Yeah, because then
with
you can
Moon
do
Pearl
that
and
immediately.
Hookshot, you can just
Yeah.
clear out this entire place and never have to think about it until you come back.
Well, we've got 6 more chances here because he hasn't done Spiral Cave yet either. Let's see. Ooh, Frost Rot strats on the Moldorms here.
Oops. Just turned it back off. I do like the Frost Rod strats. I didn't know that they could go over those like small ledges. Ah,
oh
there you
wow,
go.
and there are the mitts. That's super nice for Ninban.
Yeah, he's kind of
Meanwhile,
cool.
DarkDyllon is picking up his own hookshot.
Which is good for
Really-
DarkDyllon, because he can go that way as well. And
Yeah, he's gonna kick himself a little bit for not checking this sooner though, but that's how it goes. You never know with Rando.
so far it's feeling a bit like a V18 seed. With everything in, everything
exactly.
pointing to East Death Mountain.
Before you know it, there'll be Gomez in another 15 minutes, and this will be a really short race.
Ooh, DarkDyllon taking
That's
that.
nasty. That's. I think he was going into escape, but wonder if he's going to change his plans now. No, it doesn't. Looks like he's going back for a rematch. Or is he? Oh yeah, he's going back for a rematch. Meanwhile, Ninban is slowly making his way through Spiral Cave.
Just a heart.
A heart container. It's not
Not
really
even
worth
sick
the
heart.
trek, but, well, at least he's conveniently located now for getting into the Dark World. The only thing that makes me kind of sad is that I'm not getting to see what Luigi's Bunny's prize is now.
I hope it's Mario.
That would be hilarious.
Or maybe Peach. Waluigi.
Waluigi would also be amazing.
Ninban getting that convenient full magic drop. I'm very often seeing runners not pick it up when they need magic in the near future.
Yeah, that's so conveniently located. When we have a Dark World map check, let's see now. Oh, there's a green pendant, and we've got Steve's Town as a pendant, and then crystal number 6 in Skullwoods.
Yep, so Skullwoods and Desert Palace can get to the Fat Fairy.
So, and they're pretty much in position to get theirs. Well, Ninban is right now anyway. DarkDyllon will be as soon as he also checks East Death Mountain, which I imagine can't be too long. And we've got Hookshot Cave being checked.
Ooh, hammer.
Ooh, and the hammer. Wow. Is my game out in 10 minutes prediction going to come true now?
Yeah, this is definitely
Oh,
a
and the Master
V18
Sword. Wow, this is like the
And
hookshot.
Cane.
And the Cane of Samaria. Wow. That is one of the most hype hookshot caves I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Hopefully DarkDyllon makes his way there very soon.
Checking the back of his cave now, so I guess he's just gonna finish checking Hyrule Castle this way. Meanwhile, I imagine Ninban is gonna make his way into the Dark Worlds, but let's see what he actually does with his food. Maybe he'll do an Elding Maya check to see what pendants it requires.
Yeah, and Ninban. One thing
he's
that
opting for the Hype Cave play.
Yeah, one thing that DarkDyllon has over Ninban is that he does have that Fire Rod. So
Yeah,
depending on whether or not Ninban ever plans on going to Sahasrara, or if he's just going to wait until he does Palace of Darkness,
yeah, it
or if
might
he
be
just
long
forgets entirely, that could give DarkDyllon a huge edge.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Because it might definitely be a while with how much of the world is open to Ninban right now. That's the Boomerang in Hype Cave. What more? Blue Mail. And the Shuffle. Shuffle is also always interesting to find.
Yeah, especially in Turtle Rock, that you can't complete yet.
Yeah. Looks like Luigi has set us on being Ice Luigi now. He's got the Blue Mail. Just as well he's only got Fire Frost Rod, isn't it? It's very appropriate. Anyway, we've got a good friend Stumpy with a piece. Just a little piece of love here.
It looks like we all missed which medallion was Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the other stream at that time. But I think we'll get a second chance at viewing what it is soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. I'm just trying to tally up which items we still need to see. We need flippers, mirror, and... Oh, that's it.
Yep, that's definitely so. We might...
And some unknown medallion.
Some unknown medallions. Let's see what the digging game holds beyond needing a whole lot of digging.
This is gonna be a legendary 30 digging game.
I mean, it's certainly looking like that to me. And
All
it's
that
5 rupees. Real payoff right there.
Gotta feel a twinge of pain every time you see that time's up, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You know
you'd really rather. Yeah, you'd really rather just skip that message entirely. Okay, and he's immediately picking up the Smith, so I guess he's going to save and quit after he's done checking things now.
I don't know if he forgot that he doesn't have the mirror, or if he's planning on saving and quitting.
Yeah, I mean, he's locked himself into the save and quit play at this point, because the Smith does not like it when you enter dungeons with him.
Well, he makes the weapons, he just doesn't use them. And a very onerous...
I find myself doing that a lot too nowadays. Because of early boots is such a rarity now.
Yeah, we've had very many seeds, at least even in like the past day or two, that had no boots until like either Ganon's Tower or sometime very near the end of the Crystal Collection.
Yeah. And that seed, the seed I watched earlier today was amazing for that, actually.
DarkDyllon messed up the...
Yeah, he stopped the shot skip, but he's just getting out and back in for a second chance at it.
I think at that point it might have been faster to just go upstairs.
Yeah, do the intended route, but, well, let's see, can you get it? Yeah, there he goes. Can you get the second one, though?
He was a little bit too far to the left.
Almost had it, though.
Sometimes it just doesn't work, and I don't know why, so...
Yeah. Sometimes she's get weirdly stuck. And we get the powder from the smiths. That's interesting. It's very convenient to check what the powder actually gives you.
And somebody needs to check these Smith's licenses.
Yeah. I mean, they claim it's just gold dust from all the butter swords they make, but...
Uh-oh, DarkDyllon missing that free MP refill.
Magic refill, yeah. And a piece of art from Batman. DarkDyllon also getting in the quick map check here. Actually gotta keep an eye on it because I really want to see what the Total Rock medallion is.
Oh, looks like Ninban is going towards the Meyer area.
Total Rock is Eater, so they're in good shape for that one. Meanwhile, we've got Quake for Misery Maya, so they'll need at least one more medallion.
Yep, so what, 4 items until go mode?
DarkDyllon, meanwhile, reaping the rewards of that extremely rich shot cave. Well, the Maya shed was merely an upgrade shed this time.
Oh, looks like Ninban is, never mind. I thought he was gonna try and do Misery Mire, but thought better of it.
He doesn't have the Quake medallion to get in there, so it's not even an option.
Oh, looks like we're gonna be seeing maybe Thieves Town or Skullwoods.
Yeah, I always like checking Skullwoods early, but I can imagine skipping that in this case because you can definitely full clear Thieves Town. No, it does look like he's heading up to Skullwoods.
This is actually going to give DarkDyllon a bit of an advantage because
he can just go in and clear Skullwoods if he wants to. So actually, he is going down to Dark Kakariko.
Well, whenever he gets around to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's still nice to be able to clear a dungeon in one go, even though, in the case of Skullwoods, it's not particularly onerous to have to visit it twice. The fire rod was...
Sahasrara.
Oh yeah, in Sahasrara's hut. That's right.
Ninban got lucky with the big key early on, but got unlucky in not getting a small key to avoid doing this large spike in mummy room.
At least you get to watch a mummy bounce on a bumper for a bit.
It's the party mummy. The party
Yeah, he knows how to have a good time. And there's a key. Bit late, but better late than never.
Oh, we see a bomb jump. Ooh, we will.
Yeah, nice. There we go. One go. Perfect. And we've got 50 rupees in there. Not exactly what he was hoping for. He's just leaving it at that front part of Skullwoods.
Looks like DarkDyllon is just clearing more of Dark World Overworld.
Yeah, it's a very understandable choice too.
It's a pretty big trap to fall into, especially in this version.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. This area is so close to Thieves Town that you can just easily double back since he has mitts and everything.
We're seeing the seeded randomness with DarkDyllon also getting 30 digs. I'm surprised that Ninban hasn't done some of these houses yet.
Yeah, exactly, in the ordinary area before.
Because I think the the frog will follow you into that house.
Yeah, I believe the frog only objects to entering dungeons. Maybe some other caves, but I've not really had trouble with them just wanted to keep the dungeons in mind. Piece of heart from the chest game.
It's strange that they have so many options available to them, so...
Yeah.
It's at this point, as a runner,
really
you need to either just make a decision, or just try to play the numbers, because a lot of these places you're gonna have to do anyway.
Yeah.
If you can find like bombs or not bombs, boots or something, it'll make certain dungeons or a lot of dungeons faster. But you really just gotta, I don't know. It's a big question for routing strategy, like where you go if you have a lot of places open to you.
Yeah.
And I think it's a question that doesn't have
It really
clean
doesn't
answer.
Doesn't have a clean answer. The best you can generally hope for is trying to maximize the amount of items you can get in one location at a time, but even that sometimes just shoots you in the foot.
Yeah, and then there's the idea of gambles and trying to play your opponent. Because, you know, if I were playing like ACM or Christos or Ben, I might take more gambles and go to places that I wouldn't necessarily go if I were just racing somebody. I think.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Because if I was racing one of those high tier races, I definitely wouldn't go with the standard basic stuff because, well, I'm not gonna win that way because I'm nowhere near good enough.
But yeah, Thieves Town is a pretty solid play, even if it's a pendant dungeon. They still do four items.
It's 4 items in there. Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, the more items you need, I think the safer a pendant dungeon is.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Like, if you just need one thing to go mode, I would say just dive through all of the dungeons you can, all of the crystal dungeons. But if they're in that situation, going into pendants early on is, I would say it's definitely a valid option.
Mm-hmm. Thieves Town in particular is just, it requires so few items to actually check. If you can get to the Dark Vault, you can generally get to Thieves Town and just clean it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only real major... Ooh, nice.
There's the mirror, that's a super nice find, because they're definitely going to need that one.
Yeah, that puts a big target on Swamp. Oh wait, they don't have the flippers yet, so... Once they get the flippers, it'll put a big target on Swamp.
Yeah, but it means, well... means a couple of overworld locations to check at the very least.
Yeah, it's good to get, really good to get before you do like most of the Dark World collection, because there's so many places. Like Ninban and even DarkDyllon have already gone past places that would have been useful to have the mirror.
Yeah.
Like Misery Mire, the warp.
Yeah, the checkable cave there. The cave south of the Haunted Grove.
Right.
The Graveyard Ledge. Yeah, deserts. In fact, desert might be an interesting play at this point. I mean, it's also. Oh no, wait, desert was one of the crystals.
Yep.
So, you know.
It's even a Fat Fairy crystal. So, I think desert is a pretty good play at this point.
And this chat is pointing out it might be boots locked, but, well, at least you'll know it's boots locked at that point.
Yeah, it's not even that much of a time investment. I think it's worth it. However, you gotta think about what's the chances of desert really holding any value, because it really only just opened up.
It's only it's true. Did any of them check the Desert Light and Ledge item actually, or did they just go straight into Misery Mire?
I don't believe any of them went to the desert.
Ninban is opting to deliver, but not kill blind, so if the pedestal does turn out to be required, he can just go into the dungeon without having to pick up Further Maiden.
Looks like Ninban is gonna flute his purple chest.
Ah, yes. It's always so satisfying when you can just flute that thing instead of having to cart it all the way over.
If he had the book, I would have rather seen him just take the chest there.
Yeah.
Because he
you can
has
then
two
just
things to check.
yeah, you can then flute to Link's house and go into the Dark World there to save a little bit of journey now.
But he also he also might want to check the ledge of south of Haunted Grove.
Oh yeah, true. I don't know, I think he's feeling the desert play. Yeah, taking out the mirror now.
It's fine.
Yep, definitely. So we'll find out if the boots are required or not.
Just bombs. I am aching to find out what is an Agonaut cave.
Yeah, me too. Maybe Ninban will include checking that with checking the rest of this area. Because, well, while you're here, you know. DarkDyllon picking up the mirror too, and there's a key on the torch, so... Unless the big key is right here in this chest, we will need the boots for desert.
Okay.
And it's the compass, so the boots are somewhere around there.
So 5 items to go mode.
Yep.
Or wait. Yeah. But we'll probably see the Agonaut cave.
Yeah, I imagine so. And there's Quake, that's nice. That means he could go into and clear Misery Mire if he fills up for it with his current equipment.
I think he might. Even though it's kind of a big risk.
And he is checking out the Gina's cave. And yeah, Misery Mire is quite the tricky dungeon if you've just got a Master Sword for offense, really. And Agina's cave was just some money. And DarkDyllon is not opting to deliver the maiden, it's just going out and assuming that this isn't the pedestal seed.
But since this is V26, even though they don't have the book yet, it could still be...
Yep, it could definitely still be a pedestal.
Even though they don't know it, and have no way of knowing.
Yeah. Let's see, could any of our items actually still... yes, I guess the boots could still be on there. For an item blocking the boots, of course, but...
We are going into Mire.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair play. He can complete it, it's a crystal dungeon.
Killing that Dacta, so he doesn't get hit by it while this animation is playing.
Yeah, that's a good play, because Quake does not hit the Dacta. The other two, you're perfectly safe, but not with Quake.
And one of them is preferred, too, because you need to get the bird toss in.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
always extremely important.
There we go.
Yeah, DarkDyllon is checking the hammer tags, which, as I recall, didn't really pay off. But...
yeah, you can't really ignore places like this, though. That's
no,
for failure.
especially since that was just a half container. He's opting to pick it up though, and I can understand that. Yeah, DarkDyllon's going to complete the rest of the trading sequence here with the purple chest delivery. And Misery Mire is, of course, its usual key happy self.
Yeah. I feel like it's an even bigger troll when you go into Misery Mire looking for items and you find the big key in that room with the spikes.
Oh, on that
Or even
bridge like
there.
he just did.
Because you're just feeling like, why couldn't you have given me this seed beforehand? Like,
Yeah,
why couldn't you
exactly,
have given
because
me this seed?
when you're in go mode, it's always the chest just to the west of the big chest that has the big key. Or it just makes you wait for the wall to move so very, very slowly.
DarkDyllon also opting to fly to deliver the chest, which makes me really wonder what's inside that cave below the haunted grove.
Yeah, it could be a missing boots.
Could be. Ooh.
Ooh, and there's the bow. That's a nice find, at least. It's already making this require pay off, and it's also going to make Fitrius significantly easier.
Yeah, especially with the silvers.
Yeah.
And Mire itself, like the dungeon, isn't that hard, especially if you have powder, because there's so many
anti-powder. And the lamp also helps a lot to make it easier, because that dark area of Mire is kind of annoying to deal with.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest. Well, outside of Aga Tower now.
Yeah, but Aga Tower doesn't really happen much as a required dark room.
Although Ninban doesn't have Fire Rod to make this room quick, so he's got
to be the slow strats with the lamp.
Block pushing puzzles.
Every single block.
A Zelda staple.
Yeah.
Very classic.
Very traditional. At least you don't have to kill all the enemies in this one.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget there are even enemies in these rooms.
Yeah.
Because like with the Fire Rod, you can often avoid.
Yeah, so, you don't often see the wizard spawning with the Fire Rod.
Yeah, so having to do lamp strats really like underlines how slow it is.
Yeah.
Oh, and all that just for combat.
Wow, that's unfortunate. You really don't want to sit through that animation just for that. Yeah, he's just opting to go for the route that involves the least backtracking. Or is he? Oh, he did check that one chest up there, and he's now going for this one.
Yeah, that was the bow.
Oh, that was the bow, of course. How could I forget? There's another key, so that's the big chest hold the other item, or will it be Fitrius himself?
Oh yeah, DarkDyllon stole a key from the back of the desert, so now he can...
It's also an interesting play. Because who knows, maybe there's something good there. It won't be the boots because of the situation we're in, but it might be something else. Might be the flippers.
I don't think it's possible to soft lock doing this, it's just...
Yeah, no, that's why I know it can't be the boots.
But it could be, like... flippers. Yeah, maybe.
Flippers, or maybe it'll send us on a wild goose chase with the book. You know, all the fun stuff.
Personally, I think stealing a key is a bit too slow, and I don't think it has a ton of value behind it. Especially considering there's often a good way to get to desert. If I have the flute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have the flute, it's a very quick dungeon to get to.
Well, flute and some way to get inside, which is
of course.
Mirror or the book.
It's actually surprising how often desert turns out to be your last dungeon, or one of the last dungeons you can do nowadays.
It does require...
It's got quite a lot of items required for the Light World dungeon.
Right. And the book, which is the easiest way to get in, is an item that doesn't unlock a ton of things. So it's easy to put it wherever you could put it deep
Yeah,
into
very
Ganon's
easy
tower.
for the game to decide to put it into tier rock if it's actually required, or Ganon's tower if it isn't.
We're gonna see Vitreous die here in a
Yeah,
second.
it's a very nice, satisfying little one cycle you can do with the silver arrows.
Luigi's doing some botched eye surgery here.
No, we've got 50 rupees there. That's not really what they're looking for, but with the bow in hand, the Eastern Palace and the Palace of Darkness are now open for completion.
Yeah, it was definitely worth to do early.
Yeah. Paid off extremely well.
Now the question is, will he do Palace of Darkness?
Yeah, it is a pendant, so...
It's green pendant, it's Palace of Darkness. Yeah, he just got the bow. Looks like, yeah, it looks like he's going directly to Palace of Darkness.
I wonder if he might end up mirroring outside of the palace to do Eastern first and then go back in for Palace of Darkness if Eastern doesn't pay off at anything.
I would assume he's going to mirror at Sahasrara at the minimum and get his eye.
Oh yeah, definitely. He should definitely do that. So he might be tempted into just combining the Sahasrara check with the green pendant check if he does go into pod.
We're going to see now if this is bow blocked, and it is not. So DarkDyllon could have some good luck in here, or some terrible luck if he wastes a lot of time in here and gets nothing out of it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alvi's saying he would have jumped into Turtle Rock once he got a Fire Rod, which... I mean...
It's a fair choice, but I can understand also being a bit leery about doing that, just because it's a very difficult dungeon.
You do you. I like to stay clear of Turtle Rock as much as possible. DarkDyllon realizing he doesn't have a bow, so he can just grab that key and then probably get to the vanilla... Oh, not even doing the vanilla big key room.
Yeah, I can understand going up here. There's a couple more chests you can check, so it's slightly more likely to have a payoff.
Now is he going to go inside?
Yeah. The question is, will we be seeing a hammer jump?
I don't
know. Hey, you never know.
With the mirror... I don't see much of a point. But that's just me. But Ninban did open Palace of Darkness, and he's pulling Ben Strats and going away from Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, he's going into Eastern first, and that makes sense to me. But you never know, he might get those... He might get the boots and the flippers here in the Eastern Palace, and then he's ready to go, and he doesn't have to worry about full clearing paws, and this pod is surprisingly friendly for a go-man.
Now, will this be the God Eastern Palace, where you get all the items you need before, or buy the big chest?
Nah, I expect it'll be the Dog Eastern Palace, which is kinda like that, except the big chest will open and you get a map out of it.
Oh my dog Eastern Palace.
No, there's the compass, so he's gonna have to fully clear the place to be able to make certain there's nothing in here.
I always hope for the God Eastern Palace, but...
It is so nice to not have to check those rooms in the middle, I guess.
Especially in V26, where you very often come in here without a lamp.
DarkDyllon, meanwhile, is not getting any payoff from Palace of Darkness.
Ninban getting 4 skeletons.
Yeah, including the one up in the wall up north. That's a rarity. You don't often see now.
So we got all of the dungeon items.
Yeah.
DarkDyllon is right on his tail.
Ooh,
flippers have been here the entire time. Right from the get-go.
Yep, and that opens up Swamp Palace for clearing for him.
Yep, now we're just looking for boots.
Yep. Where will
Which
these
is,
boots be hiding? We've got a lot of places to check.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Boots, which it suffers from the same syndrome that the book has, where boots don't really open up so many things, so they could be pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. And as for now, somebody in chat is pointing out the flippers were early, but I think we could have known that because there was some pretty important items in the waterfall cave this time around. It doesn't surprise me overly much that the flippers were hiding out here in Eastern Palace all along.
That is a bad feeling, though, to get a required item in a dungeon like Eastern Palace, especially this late in the game, because you got to be thinking, like, okay, when did my opponent get here? or have they been here?
Thankfully, as far as those items go, the flippers is probably one of the less bad ones.
Yeah, it depends on what's inside of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna... It does make me wonder if he's going for the Swamp Palace play next, because it does contain a lot of items, but it's such a slow place to go through.
Just out of pure, unadulterated anxiety, I would go directly to Swamp right now.
Yeah. Let's see what armor will end up giving us. Because I believe he still holds an item. Or they still hold an item, I suppose.
Alvi is asking where the Moon Pearl was, which was inside the Thieves' Hut in Kakariko, along with, I believe...
there was a lot of stuff in there.
I don't know what was in there. It wasn't the lamp. The lamp was somewhere else. Cool.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of stuff in there, I remember that much.
I think it was the silvers.
Might have been silvers, yeah. Let's see, what plays are they making now?
Stocking up on potions for some of the harder dungeons, not a bad play. It's probably one of the reasons why Ninban opened up Palace of Darkness beforehand.
It looks like Ninban heading towards Turtle Rock.
But
and
yeah,
that makes stocking up on that potion a very understandable decision, especially with the Master Sword, because getting Trinex done with just that singular regular magic bar can be kind of rough with the hammer as your weapon.
Kaizen, I believe... I mean, I personally wouldn't want to do Misery Mire with only the Master Sword and no bow.
Yeah. Of course, we know that the bow is in there, and that it's actually a really easy fit for us, but DarkDyllon does not have this information.
Yeah, Ninban got a very good reward out of that.
Yeah. Except DarkDyllon is going to finish up Skullwoods in the meantime.
Yeah, this is where he saves a little bit of time.
Because he just will do this entire thing in one go. Ooh, that's an unfortunate shot right there.
Well, we'll see if this is a V26 Turtle Rock and that it has boots.
I mean, I've certainly seen that quite often myself, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see boots in the final chest on the laser bridge.
Hey, you don't need it beforehand.
Yeah, that's true.
What's stopping you from using it?
And as Phonidas in chat pointed out, you tend to full clear most of Turtle Rock anyway, so it's not that bad in that regard.
Right. I don't know. I just hope for, like, a tempered sword at least. Like, that's my...
Yeah, I can definitely understand you on that one. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know you could hookshot all the way up there in Skullwoods.
But yeah, the 12 hearts and blue mail. I think he's pretty safe for this dungeon.
Yeah, especially since he went and bought that blue potion beforehand too. Wow, he's just not even caring about the roller pins, just walking straight through them. And the mushroom. Get the mushroom hold on, Boots.
Oh, I thought Ninban was just
I
leaving.
thought he was going to check it immediately, but no, that definitely wouldn't be the right play. He should definitely just commit to Total Rock at this point.
Yeah, because there's nothing
so
stopping him from completing it. Like if he was missing Ice Rod, I can understand leaving right when getting the mushroom. But
yeah, but in this situation, no, you should just go for it. Yeah, switching from the Fire Rod to kill this Pokey, because you can't really do that in one spin with the Master Sword.
Yeah, it's a good strat. And this is the worst room in the game.
Yep. That went pretty okay, really. And you can use his powder to refill his heart and all the enter fairies in the next bit.
Finding the big key, though it's not a huge deal, considering he's going to full clear anyway.
Yeah, it's nice to have that. Just wouldn't know. You could have found something earlier that meant that you didn't really have to care about that one chest in this lava pipe room coming up. But he's obviously gonna check it because, well, still need stuff here.
DarkDyllon is getting bodied by some Gyptos and now even mini Moldorms. Oh, got hit by a bunny.
Yeah, this is quite the annoying series of rooms, really. Lots of an interesting combination of enemies that actually track you and enemies that just kind of move around in really annoying ways, like Moldorms. So.
Yeah, that room was definitely designed by an intern. Just figuring out, like, oh, this enemy does this. That's cool. Let's put him in here.
Yeah.
And do that 4 times.
Such a weird combination of enemies too. Meanwhile, we're seeing a Fire Rod. Modular. Yeah, use that potion. No reason to not play it safe here, because Modular is nearly dead. You don't want to lose all that progress. Ah, it's just the map off of Modular. I think they might have gotten both the items in there anyway.
I'm not sure at the moment. We'll see what DarkDyllon does after this. If he goes back in. Oh, looks like he got both.
Looks like he got everything done.
And a Mimic Cave. Mimic Cave with Sliver Arrow strats. Interesting.
That's, I mean, it's fair enough. They think. And there's our most important item. We can now defeat Aghanim. We've got the bug net.
I don't know. I think that's a seed, just like giving you the finger. You wanted boots? I'll have a net instead. Just put it on your feet, your foot, and trip over it. But again, Total Rock is not that much faster, even if you're full clearing it. So
yeah, would have been nice to have the boots for this room though, so you don't have to switch to the bombs, but can't have everything here.
Using iframes to get past this roller. It's always a good strat.
Always a neat strat. Meanwhile, DarkDyllon is making the Swamp Palace play. Also very understandable. It's got a lot of items. You can complete it. They haven't actually been able to complete it for all that long.
I'm banking on boots inside Swamp.
Yeah, it's a pretty big chance. Maybe we'll get to see the classic big key off of Argus into boots in the big chest play.
But you also got to ask yourself if DarkDyllon is going to take that bait.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Ninban isn't using the cane strats to get the Helmosaur out the way. He's
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
That's really bad.
Well, at least he checked Mimic Cave, so he won't be respawning too far back, but that's still annoying to have to go through again.
Yeah, it's a minute or two, I guess. Probably more like a minute at this point. Should have used the mushroom. Good, good observation. It did look like he was scrambling, trying to get his potion out until he realized it was already too late.
Yeah, it's always a shame with how long it takes for the pits to actually do damage to you. It's kind of adding insult to injury. Not only are you stuck there waiting for the screen to slowly pan back, then you also die after.
Yeah, I don't see why the game deposits your dead corpse at the door. Like, you think they just have the courtesy of leaving you down there?
Yeah. I imagine he's gonna go down and open the cave here before checking the chests, because yeah,
not a bad idea.
This is such an easy room to just die in. You really don't want to have to go through the entire business again. Well, now you've got a very convenient death warp, if nothing else.
Especially since he doesn't have the cape or blue cane. If he had one of those, I could very understand.
And a mirror shield. Yeah, there we go. It's already our first form. Now it's one laser away from death.
Which I believe those are like one of those is required for all of the chests in this room by the logic.
Yep, it is. That is correct. It doesn't assume you can safely split past these lasers, even though you just barely can. And it has to be built for one-hit KO logic, where any hit is instant, well, death.
Yeah, I'm a fan of them changing that, just because in previous versions it was just
always silly to have to, do what Ninban is doing right now, and because it is quite tricky to get this right. Ooh, he got a very neat one there, no damage at all.
I'd honestly just take another death before trying another one.
Yeah. He got it again.
Tempered.
Oh, and the Tempered Sword. That's not quite what he's hoping for, but that will make Trinex a lot easier.
But this last one has to be a key, unless he opened the door. I don't think he did.
No, I'm pretty certain it is a key. You can do it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm just taking the death.
I mean, I would have taken that one too, just for the refill.
Still no boots for DarkDyllon inside Swamp.
Yeah, Swamp hasn't been paying off at all, I don't think. Ooh, Pookie getting in the way of the shot there. And we're off to face Trinex, while Dylan's still making the way through Swamp, with, of course, the big key being somewhere in the back, because it always is, isn't it?
Yeah, usually I think it's a good idea to just go towards Argus if you don't find the big key right away, early on. I just assume it's going to be back there. But you do get to the ability to do the faster strat on the left side of Swamp Palace, where you can just grab, or you can open the path
one
to
key,
the south
and then avoid drowning the other key, and all the usual business.
Well, Turtle Rock is not really paying off in terms of progression, but it did give a Tempered Sword.
The Tempered Sword is going to be nice for Ganon.
Yeah, and it also makes me wonder, based on the key logic and everything, if DarkDyllon is going to check that chest when he does Turtle Rock. Depending on if DarkDyllon does Turtle Rock in Go mode or not. With the big key there...
What's the key? Because he's just going through and finishing up the dungeon. It's also an option to go back and check the chest, but... I never know the right play there, personally.
Yeah, just randomize it, just will die. Now we get Hera, Ninban side.
I mean, he's in the area, I suppose.
Yeah.
It is only a pendant dungeon, but on the other hand, Hera is not a particularly long dungeon to go through. Or at least it isn't if that room isn't required. We'll see in a little bit if it is or not. Ooh, and it is. Is he gonna go for it? Or nah, he's just gonna say, no, I'm not gonna bother with the tower room and go somewhere else. Very understandable.
Yeah, it's just one item and then maybe the pedestal. But boots on pedestal could be a thing. Like, very easily.
Yep. Let's see, Ninban in the meantime is going to go check Spike Cave while we see what Argus has in store for us. It's the half magic. That's a very nice item to have.
Yeah,
but it's not boots.
Yeah, it's good that both runners are guaranteed to get it too. Makes Ganon's tower a whole lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. Plus it means that if they do, they'd end up picking up the cape, because I see DarkDyllon has it, they can very safely use cape strats on Ganon, because they have silver arrows.
Mm-hmm. And DarkDyllon can also use cape strats in the laser bridge room.
Yeah, it's also very much a lot easier than what Ninban just went through.
And it, Spike Cave, not really paying off, just a heart. But
yeah, that's a shame. Ninban is seeing what his shuffle will give him.
And here's another thing that I'd be a bit worried about, because they've had shovel for a while.
Ooh, that's the red tunic. That's Fire Luigi now.
Be cool if, like, they could get different sprites for, like, items as well. So
yeah,
maybe...
that would be nice. It would be really funny if you were playing the Samus sprite and the boots would suddenly look like the speed booster from Super Metroid or anything like that.
Yeah, or if you fired a bow and it was like a beam fire, or a missile
exactly.
or something. Red Luigi. Looks like DarkDyllon is finally going into Mire, so he'll probably be getting his bow, which will leave him one item away from Go mode.
Yep, he'd just be missing the boots. Ninban, meanwhile, is going to check the Ice Palace. Which is a dungeon they're quite prepared for. Would have been nice to have bombos as well, because, well, it's so much easier if you can use the fire rolls a bit on Cold Stair, but...
Yeah, not having half magic at this point as well makes it a lot trickier.
Mm-hmm.
I assume both of these players can do the bomb jump strat, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't think magic is going to be a problem.
No, I don't think so either, but... And the first chest in there is the map. Which might be vanilla now I think about it.
I don't know. I have no idea where the vanilla items are in the game anymore. Except for, like, the major ones.
Yeah.
Like, you asked me where a random map or compass is, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I know it's one of the two in that room, just not so exactly certain which one. He's going for the optimal strat here with the 2 bombs. I think Switch is already in the right position for the bomb jump, which also indicates he's definitely going for the bomb jump. Yeah, he also did this strat here.
DarkDyllon's probably also getting quite annoyed at this Misery Mire for giving him the big key right away.
Yeah, it's such a mean trick. Because he's also going to have to full clear the place, because, well, he's going to have to check for the boots.
Just falling right off the ledge there.
Yep.
I think that one's good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of hard to tell with a sprite you're not used to. Yeah, spin strats on the penguins here. And here we can also see how much quicker the fire rod is for checking this part of swamp, or Misery Mire. Is DarkDyllon going straight south for that room? Yeah, we'll definitely see how much quicker the fire rod is here.
His pal is currently not paying off that well. Is he just diving through it at this point, though?
I have no idea. He might be.
It's kind of an interesting strat. I don't know if I agree with it, but let's just see.
Let's see.
Oh, no.
No,
okay.
He's just going up here. He's taking the sword up, but not quite vanilla route.
Typically, I think it's better to just go back upstairs and
then
fall down in that one trap room into the large room with spikes and penguins.
Yeah, as Phonides in chat is pointing out, you can also opt to bomb jump over that hole instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bomb jumps are hard, although Ninban has demonstrated he knows how to do some of the trickier ones.
Yeah, the Ice Palace bomb jump he just pulled off in, well, after a fall, he pulled it off in one go.
He also did the one in the big chest room in Skull Woods.
Yep, he did that one in one try too, and DarkDyllon found the bow in the meantime. It's going to be quite happy with that, because it's such a much easier fit for us.
Yeah, but the dungeon just went from pretty difficult to completely easy mode.
I see Ninban also has the habit to pick up, hit that button, even though this door is already open.
Yeah. Definitely can forget sometimes what the buttons do, other than the fact that you have to hit them.
I find myself doing the same thing all the time in here. Let's see, what do these remaining chests and eyes hold? Oh, just a key.
And a slap in the face.
Yeah. 20 rupees is really the worst item you can find, to be honest. It's not even the worst, but it's just so, it's just the most generic item. You find so many of them on a run, and then finding it when you go out of your way for something is just, ugh.
Yeah, once you're past the point where you need rupees, like Zora and everything, finding 20 rupees always feels way worse than finding even like a single rupee.
Yeah, or the single arrow, or anything like that. Anyway, he's gonna finish off his round through Ice Palace at this point with a quick check with the hookshot clip here. And it's a bee in a bottle. It's always an important item to have a bee with you, but not quite what he's looking for.
Is B Torp telling you that he's always watching?
I believe... No, wait, they have... Well, no, DarkDyllon dived into pod for a bit, and I believe Ninban hasn't checked it at all yet.
Yeah, Ninban has not entered Palace of Darkness. DarkDyllon has done Palace of Darkness up until the point where bow is required.
Wouldn't surprise me to see check there once they're done with their respective crystal dungeons they can clear.
Tempered Sword on Cold Stare is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a lovely fight. And you got a little bit of corner strats too.
But nothing really good in Ice Palace, so depending on whether or not DarkDyllon finds Boots beforehand, before he does Ice Palace, could give him a bit of an edge in that regard.
It looks like DarkDyllon is going back in to finish off the Palace of Darkness.
Not a bad play, although it's getting a bit scarier now that they're down to one item.
Yep. On the other hand, I guess the thought here is I've already cleared most of it, let's just finish it off before I forget about it. Meanwhile, Ninban is going for Swamp Palace, which it makes a lot of sense. A lot of items, and you need to do it anyway, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he'll also full clear it to no avail.
Yeah. They still get the cape in there. At least I think that was in there.
I don't believe either of them have checked North Dark World above Thieves Town. Is that true?
They have not, as far as I can remember.
So Kit could be required, which would be interesting.
Yep, would be an interesting. It's always interesting when the cape is required because it's just needed for one single, well, generally one single item in the game. Ooh. Let's just a little bit of potholes from DarkDyllon. It's probably keys. As these two chests generally are keys, but you never know.
I'm very interested to see if Boots are inside Palace of Darkness.
Yeah,
if they are, that could be a huge swing in the momentum of this match.
With paws being green pendant, we might even see the vanilla boots.
Yeah, that would be amazing too.
So that's always the play you least expect the game to just put the item where it was in the first place.
And DarkDyllon's doing the annoying beetle room.
Yeah, this room is really annoying.
Oh my, that lag.
Yeah, that's kind of some Mario block adds a lot of lag to these rooms. He's gonna check the vanilla big key chest here.
If Boots are in this chest, that
I expect some very furious slashing if that were the case.
Yeah, because he could have checked this the first time through, but I understand why he didn't.
Yeah, it's just the compass, but yeah, that just rarely pays off. It's very often just the key.
Yeah. But every once in a while, it's something important, like the big key, or a major item, like the fire rod.
Yeah. I've definitely seen important items in there before. That's Ninban's book.
I don't think either of them have checked either of the tablet locations or pedestal yet.
No, they have not.
So this could very easily
has had the book for longer, but they've been going pretty straight dungeon diving since they started doing that a while ago, which is understandable because, well, especially for the crystals, you need to do them anyway.
Yeah, I missed the book grab before, and I'm actually a little surprised that neither of them, or that DarkDyllon hasn't at least gone to pedestal.
Yeah, we'll make a quick Bombo's tablet check after Swamp, because, well, you're right in the area anyway.
Right. Yeah, so we have a lot of interesting scenarios where Boots can be. It's just the most important thing is knowing where Boots are.
Yep. That's gonna be tricky for them to figure out because it is a very wide open world. The only places that are boots locked are, well, a little bit of Desert Palace, Granon's Tower, and of course the Bonk Rocks. And King's Tomb, I suppose, but the rest of the world is still wide open to them, and every single one of those spots could possibly contain a boot.
Ninban is getting bullied by this Skeeter,
Yeah,
or whatever.
Man, that Skeeter is so annoying.
However, Cross Product called him. I think it was Skeeters.
Yeah. They also, the ones in this particular room are just so annoying.
Yeah, the one is almost like, depending on RNG, it is.
You're basically guaranteed to take a hit from it.
Yeah.
Well, almost guaranteed.
Well, I mean, if you want to waste a lot of time to like guide it along the wall,
yeah,
you can do that. But I mean, it does like
It's
one heart of,
basically-
with
nobody
blue mail,
wants to
1
do
heart of
that.
damage.
Let's see what this helmet will hold for us. It's another
Third
shield.
shield. So we know where all the shields are, which doesn't really help us that much at this point.
No. Who knows? Maybe it'll give DarkDyllon another easy time in the laser break room when it comes up. Because he might pick up the third shield before going there. He's going to clear out the eastern now. Which he'd already checked earlier, so this is just a straight shot through to Armors.
Yeah, that's a bit of a pain, not having the bow.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty understandable play. Like he didn't want to do Misery Mire with the resources he had at the time, so he just opted for the other fairly dense dungeons in the earlier parts of the game instead.
Yeah, a lot of players call Lumberjack, the Lumberjack Cave, Anxiety Cave. I think this dungeon should be your anxiety, like
The anxiety dungeon, yeah.
It's the place you don't want to check, but you also really do very early on. And
it is literally just part of the initial open world exploration you can do, so can hold all kinds of valuable goodies to make you skip Aghanim or anything like that.
Yeah. And then Ben being forced to take the long way on the left side of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, because he just dived straight down to Argus, which is, if you're missing one item especially, very understandable. And we're going to see our Mose Knights finished off real quickly with these silver arrows again.
It's always a good feeling to be able to just silver arrow these guys, because
yeah, it's so much less annoying than to have to shoot each of them 3 times. Possibly, if you're good enough, to set up the quick kill, you know. Meanwhile, this is just 6 arrows, doesn't matter.
people in chat are talking about their own experiences with Eastern Palace. Troll seeds.
Yeah, and having to go across the river with the hook shot in Dark World is a pretty classic play, and it catches a lot of people off guard, because you would never ever have to do that if you're familiar with the vanilla game.
Yeah, that never happened in V18, the version that the last tournament was on. But V21, which is like the V21 through like 24, it was super common, at least in my experience. To have to constantly have to kill Aghanim just to get Dark World access, and then have to shot across that river, and then you never get like the mitts or the hammer, and sometimes you just have to do that again.
Yeah, one of the worst possible item locations actually is if the hammer decides to be in the Fat Fairy. Well, in her chests anyway.
Or if the mirror is in Hera, that is a good place
Oh,
for
yeah, that's also a good one, because then you have that really long, harrowing trip up that mountain.
Yeah, Ninban getting another slap in the face from the gods.
Yeah, I noticed at the end of Swamp Palace that he did a quick little bomb on the final chest out of, well, annoyance at it not cooperating with him.
I'm surprised he hasn't. Nobody's doing a pedestal check yet.
I think they just want to believe in the heart that this isn't the pedestal seat, so it's looking more and more likely the more item locations they check. Yeah, that's just a red rupee. It's right color, not the right item.
There is one other item in Hera we have, not including the potential pedestal potential.
Yep.
But no, DarkDyllon doesn't even want that mirror shield.
Wait,
He's just gonna
I
leave
can
that
understand.
junk.
Oh,
no,
nah, he's gonna go back for it anyway. Maybe he mistook it with its color for an upgrade item instead of the shield.
No, I'm
It does
wondering
look
if
quite like the capacity items if you just quickly glance at it.
so. If boots are upstairs here,
Yeah, that's gonna give DarkDyllon a major advantage because it's
That-
probably gonna be a while before Ninban decides to go back to Hera.
yeah, Ninban is now currently finishing up Skull Woods and will probably time a pedestal check after the fact. Or before the fact, I guess.
I would definitely see him going in there after he kills Mochila. DarkDyllon is meanwhile enjoying a nice pause while invulnerable from the tower room.
Yeah, might be getting a drink, visiting the restroom,
Yeah, because you've
responding,
responding
to an email thread.
Somebody else's race start and finish, you know, all the usual business.
Turning on Ninban stream. Just kidding.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Hera pays off or if the pedestal is actually going to be in play, because it's going to be a turning point for this race either way.
I really want the boots in Hera at this point.
Yeah, that would be very satisfying.
I feel Ninban has a few minutes of a lead at this point.
It's hard to say right now because it's all the hunt for one item, but he definitely has cleared more of the crystal dungeons at this point.
Yeah, and he's about to clear another. So he's only got desert at this point.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Ooh, that's just bombs in there. That's unfortunate.
Oh, don't leave. Don't leave just yet. Finish.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if DarkDyllon will regret leaving this dungeon in a little bit on Ninban's
Okay, this is...
matters, because I imagine he's immediately going to go check what the pedestal holds.
This can potentially be tragic.
It can be really tragic. Let's see. DarkDyllon's, I think, going down to check the Bombos tablet.
Oh my god!
White Palace. Was it?
It
my
is.
god! It was the boots in the pedestal. That means
this is...
Ninban is effectively in go mode.
Yeah, he's just gonna clear out all of the pedestal seed requirements, and yeah, that's it. Like,
yeah, because he's got all the items to clear. He's got all the items to clear these dungeons as quick as he wants to.
I feel so bad for DarkDyllon having left Hera before finishing.
Yeah, that is super unfortunate.
Because he even has a leg up in terms of the pedestal requirements.
Yeah, but it's also unfortunate that, unlike Ninban, DarkDyllon had already cleared out Skull Woods, so going to check the pedestal is probably the last thing on his mind right now.
Yeah, that's true. Ninban did have a convenient...
There's a very large chance he'll be going through... No, actually, he's been pretty thorough in clearing out his pendant dungeons already. When it comes to items, he just hasn't actually finished them. On that note, I do believe I saw DarkDyllon clear Eastern Palace, but it doesn't appear to be marked on the tracker right now.
I see it on the tracker. Eastern.
I am silly. I misread something. Yep.
Yeah, so...
it was slightly fuzzy, so the IP looked like EP to me. That would do it.
I forget
I
where
apologize.
the
I apologize for your great. I apologize if you didn't deserve that.
I forget where the big key was in Palace of Darkness, because that's... It's so weird to be doing Palace of Darkness in Go mode.
Yeah, it is.
Because...
It was really early, as I recall.
Yeah, it's right there. Okay, so
he
he's...
He just needs a key now.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't fall for the trap here. I think the gears are turning. He's trying to figure out where he needs to go.
Yeah, it's so rare that you get to do this in Palace of Darkness, because usually you end up having to fully clear the place, but I believe right here is a key, and he's good to finish the dungeon now.
Yep, that is Palace of Darkness Go mode.
Yeah, super lucky. It's a super lucky big key location for it. Because he's skipping a significant part of the dungeon at this point.
I still feel very, very bad for DarkDyllon for
yeah,
leaving.
Me too.
And
Me too. It would have been so good if he just cleared it, but... Well...
I think...
It's a choice that makes a lot of sense, because there's so many other places that aren't the pedestal, but... Yeah. It was actually the pedestal this time.
I don't know what the percentages in this version are. Probably something like 4.5% or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I heard somebody mention like a 1 in 20 chance before. So
1 in 20. Okay, so it's probably increased a bit.
I don't know if that was somebody actually analyzing the chances or just,
And this is honestly, like, DarkDyllon getting the fire rod early, or quote unquote early, kind of hurt him.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate because he could do Skull so much sooner than Ninban did, and well, he did that because he could.
Yeah, but he didn't have the book.
He didn't have the book, so he couldn't check what the pedestal held.
It's always kind of tragic the way the seeds shake out for different people sometimes.
Yeah, it's amazing how small little choices you make can just completely make or break your time.
Mm-hmm. Things that seem like they're benefits early on end up being consequences, or not consequences. Whatever the opposite of a benefit is. Penalties.
They end up costing you in the end. It's a real shame in this case.
So
but
save.
Who knows? Maybe he'll decide to check the pedestal soon anyway, and he'll be going back through those dungeons he's already cleared out of items and just quickly heading out to the bosses.
And Ben also getting his mirror shield.
Yep.
Has a nice.
It would have been so. He would have definitely enjoyed having that on the laser bridge before, but.
Yeah, but I guess Tempered it didn't really help him in the fight because he did have arrows.
Yeah.
Well, which is up next? Tower Hera or Thieves Town? Oh, it's Hera.
It's Hera. That makes sense, I suppose. It's the most out of the way one when it comes to getting to the pedestal.
Ooh, DarkDyllon getting bullied by a fire bar there.
Yeah.
You'd think that if you used a Luigi sprite, you would get like an extra bonus against fire bars and chain chomps.
I mean, you'd think that, or alternatively, it means if you hit, you just shrink down. It's become mini Luigi instead, and then you have to fight and have to use your mushroom.
Ninban almost got put in a long text conversation with the Kirby-looking guy.
Yeah, that is a super long conversation. I swear they recently added translated text for it and made it even longer when they did that.
I don't know. I feel like it might be slightly shorter because the one I ran into it once when it was still Japanese text, and it just felt like it took ages. It just felt like I was
Yeah, you were just
born
stuck there
and I died.
for an eternity. It's kind of like this tile. It was kind of like being stuck in this tile room.
Yeah. This is like the take a break side of the mountain.
Yep.
The other side is the side of action.
Yeah, Ninban is electing to make it a slightly more exciting tower room by actually having to do things.
Ninban is probably also kicking himself a little bit for leaving Hera early.
Yeah, definitely.
And
He's still gonna see.
Left,
he's gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see payoff from his little trick with the maiden earlier in the suit now.
He did do that.
He delivered her to the boss room, so Blind should be there. Does mean you don't get the somewhat easier pattern Blind, because Blind will be further up the room to begin with, but on the other hand, it's a pretty big time save to not have to go through the entirety of Thieves Town again.
Yeah, red mail, 13 hearts, and a sword.
Yeah,
Blind
he should be more than fine, because Blind is not one of the harder bosses in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's become a bit of a meme to talk about how, Blind is, for speedrunners, Blind is always the easiest boss, but for casual players...
Yeah, for casual players, he's quite rough. But with the amount of prep he's got, it should be fine either way. Let's see how Moldorm ends up cooperating. Should only be one spin and one swing with the attempted sword, but Moldorm can occasionally just be very, very... well, there you go.
You said it, not me.
There's a bit of commentators going on here.
I think Moldorm is on DarkDyllon's team in this case.
Yeah, it's just buying extra time for DarkDyllon to catch up.
Yeah. On the plus side, at least both of them did have to do full clear Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Well, quote-unquote had to do, but...
Yeah, they've both ended up full clearing about the same amount.
I do like that strat, that you're talking about, the lead Blind to the boss room, but just leave. Although, yeah, I don't know. If you
clever, but I don't know, I kind of feel like just killing Blind if you're gonna do that, because it doesn't take that much longer, but it's an interesting gamble. It's an interesting half gamble in case you see it is pedestal required.
Yeah, well, I think they had blue mail by that point, which is pretty huge, and a sword, and I want to say like 8 hearts.
Yeah, they had quite a bit, because they had to actually explore a fair bit of the light world before they even got access to the dark world.
Well, but now we're finally getting our... Oh, wait, never mind.
No. He still needs to do Thieves Town first. You're getting a bit ahead of yourself here.
Yeah, all this talk about Blind, I just don't want to see him.
We're going for a quick little part through Thieves Town that's familiar to anyone who's ever died to Blind. Yeah, I do imagine Dylan's next stop would be Turtle Rock. It's the most sensible play. It's got a lot of locations and you need to do it anyway. Or maybe he's going to actually check the pedestal. He might actually be checking the pedestal. That's actually quite exciting.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling preemptively.
Yeah. He's going into the dark world.
Ooh. Okay.
Going down south. Interesting.
Is he just gonna... Did DarkDyllon do Thieves Town at all? Oh,
He could have certainly did. Oh, he's gonna check the bumpy cave and such, because that's an area neither of them has checked, as far as I'm aware.
yeah. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. It's just
It's
we
it's not
know.
gonna pay off in this particular seed, but it is a very good location to check right now. And what is on the bumper cave? Just 10 arrows.
Just a small
Oh.
sewing kit.
Now he's off to check the graveyard. While Ninban is gonna make his way up to the pedestal to pull out his master boots. Does the graveyard badge hold for DarkDyllon? Will at least hold a sword upgrade or something, because that would be nice for him. You know, a little bit of...
Is he going the right way?
I...
Oh, okay. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, no, yeah, that works. It's always a real way to navigate this area, because you so rarely have to do it.
Alright. Drum roll, please.
Yeah, it's time for it. It's time for the pedestal. And there it goes. It's the Master Boots. And Ninban is now completely in go mode. He was effectively in go mode already because he knew it was the last item he needed, but now he can go and finish off the Desert Palace and then head off into Ganon's Tower.
That lamp, man. That lamp just trolls to no end.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're seeing a catfish check from DarkDyllon, which I believe neither of them had checked as well or either. And, well, as you mentioned earlier, it is a super out of the way location now, with Zora being a lot more important. Or Baldur's Zora area.
Not gonna be happy with what comes out.
No, regardless of what it is. Let's see, it is a piece of art, and he's just gonna... Yep, he's not even gonna bother getting that.
I'm just willing for DarkDyllon.
Yeah, I was so hopeful.
Go to the town.
I was so hopeful. No, he's going into Turtle Rock. I was so hopeful just now that he checked the pedestal when he fluted to town, but no.
Flute to 3, please. My telekinesis is not, or not telekinesis, whatever. My sixth sense is not working. It's in the shop. I guess DarkDyllon's just gonna do Total Rock now, which...
Yeah, it's a sensible play.
Yeah, like that's what,
like
5
it
or
would
6 items?
Almost certainly be what I do in his feet, or his boots, but... It is sadly not the correct play in this particular situation.
After an hour and 40 minutes, we're finally fancy footwork.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long seed. Of course it was a pedestal seed, so it's not that unusual, but they ended up having to check most of the world and having to slowly go through most of the dungeons in the game. Let's see, are we gonna see fire rod or silver arrow strats here on landmowers?
Trolled. Turned to arrows at the last second.
Yep.
Oh, you can't charge your sword.
Yeah, we saw the weird little Lamola's glitch that apparently happens if you're holding out your sword or charging your sword when you shoot silver arrow in this fight.
That's something I didn't know happened until I saw it in a tournament match.
I only saw it a day or two ago myself, and then somebody explained it to me, and I was like, huh, interesting. And then I realized I'd never actually held out my sword for this fight, and I was like, huh. That is actually quite convenient to be able to strafe side to side, but just never occurred to me before.
Alright, so it's time now for Ganon's Tower. And there is a tradition in this
Yeah,
tournament.
it's time for a guessing game to see for people to guess what chest or item location, I should say,
Wow.
holds the big key.
Wow. Alvi is coming right out of the gate with
21. Wow, that's super pessimistic.
yeah.
Me, I'm gonna be nice today and say it's gonna be chest number 6.
For me, it's always 8, even if it's not. Especially if it's not 8, it's always 8.
Now I'm going to go with item 6 or chest number 6 with the assumption that Ninban will be checking the right side first.
I do love the Dark Magician strats, so I'm wondering which strats Ninban do.
Yeah. A lot of people these days go with the if you find the key on the right side, you just continue with the right side thing, but we'll see what Ninban opts for.
I just do Dark Magician, which is the first 5 chests
Yeah,
or
the
items
first
on the
half
right
chest,
side, or left side,
mirror, then go right. I know. It's also a pretty good one.
and take that all the way to Ice Armos. Oh, DarkDyllon getting a nice
Yeah, getting bodied by this
point
room.
guard
It's such an
chain
annoying.
chomp.
Yeah, the chain chomps are just so annoying to deal with. Just quite difficult to avoid. And now they go into Cannon's Tower goes Ninban. And he's going for the first 2 chests on the right side first. Just very traditional. Finds a key. And 20 rupees, and he's going with the
Going with the meme route.
Yep. Is he gonna check the tower room while he's here?
I would assume not.
No, he isn't. I figured as much, but you never know.
Checking the towel room is the biggest meme.
Yeah. I've definitely seen people do it on the first playthrough, on the first clear through this area. It usually means they think they're really far behind and it's like the final gamble, the final hope to catch up.
Yeah, I mean it's not a terrible gamble if you really think you're screwed without it, but
Yeah, but if you think you've got a shot without it, then you'd better go without it, because it is easily the longest check in the game for a single chest.
Ooh, Buttersword.
Buttersword.
It's already
nice
making it a
payoff
little bit worthwhile coming this way.
This is going to be a really nice and quick cannon fight at this point. And it's also super convenient for clearing the rest.
No,
he's not going for the full right side. Nah, he's going for the left side player now. It's the full meme route.
Ooh,
and there is the big key right on the torch.
And in this case,
is paying off a second time.
Yeah, in this case, the standard route would have been the best route, probably.
Yep, it would have been just checking those first 2 chests on the right and going for the torch would have been the quickest route, I think.
So this seed would have been a bit more interesting if Desert Palace did not require the boots.
It would have been, yes. That would have been a hell of a seed if that were true. Because then they would have needed the pedestal to clear Ganon's tower, and only Ganon's tower. Nobody wants that to happen to them.
Ooh, DarkDyllon ignoring that half or full magic pickup. But
no, it might still be lying here. Yeah, there you go.
Ninban getting bullied by spikes.
These spikes. Ooh, he didn't quite manage to dash through. I was like trying to do that too, but so often you get bodied.
Yeah, it's a very inconsistent route. I think it's fine. I think the best strat is to just wait until the Igors are out of your way, and then eyeball the rest of the spikes, and then you can dash through. Once
there hasn't been any major finds outside of Ninban getting the Buttersword.
I mean, Buttersword is pretty good on its own.
It is pretty good.
It's not worth going all the way to the right side, but it is pretty good.
It is pretty good, and it helps make things a little bit easier.
Ninban getting trolled by the red. I forget what those are called.
I don't know, I always call them Horse Knights. I'm not certain if that's their official name, it probably isn't, but that's what they remind me of.
Ninban is not going to get a consistent silver arrow kill on Landmola, sadly, but...
No, it wasn't quite good. That glitch, this visual glitch is so strange.
Yeah, I just see the Landmola's body explode across the screen.
Yeah.
I'm like, is there another one? Are there 4? Is this like the Landmola's DLC?
This DarkDyllon is gonna have an easy time with the laser bridge here.
Yeah, finally.
Wheels and everything.
Finally, and hopefully getting his... Yeah, okay. Getting his tempered sword.
Yep. He's really hoping these final 2 chests contain the boots. Ooh. Meanwhile, Ninban successfully avoided getting trolled by those guards and not getting pinged somehow, because I don't know why that happens, but it's so annoying when they decide to just block you and stop your dash and then knock you in the pit.
Yeah, definitely. Ninban apparently forgetting he has half magic. Never mind, he just wasted a bunch of it anyway. He'll probably grab this full magic here.
I imagine so. He'll probably also just want to take the extra time to make certain he doesn't get the despawn glitch here. And like those 2. Need to kill these helmet for a key. There we go. He's good to go now.
True go mode. This is...
Now we have
nothing
the
else.
next little thing we have to wonder, is he going to validate his run after Moldorm? Is he gonna leave that chest alone?
I don't know. I'm a big proponent on leaving it alone, but...
Yeah, me too actually, but you never know. Maybe he'll do something interesting with it, like hit it with Quake Medallion.
That's always a good one. Stab it.
Yep. This is also why Gold Sword is very convenient. You can just slash and poke Moldorm instead of having to spin and slash.
DarkDyllon's getting juked a bit by Trinex.
I mean, hitting Trinex with the ice rod and that head is moving around is actually kind of annoying.
Please don't run out of magic.
But
okay.
I think... Nah, he's got it. There we go.
I think he probably also had a potion as well.
I do think I remember him picking one of those up. Let's see how Aghanim will go for Ninban. God. Ooh, that's a nice triple to begin with.
Triple?
I'm gonna get...
Oh, baby, a triple.
Is he gonna manage another one, though? No.
Just a single.
Made certain that wasn't even possible. This is an easy setup for the final 2. Ooh, it didn't count. They were too close together. Yeah.
But this is the last one.
There we go.
I find it interesting that, like, Aga 2 seems easier than Aga 1. That
yeah,
it's a lot quicker.
It's those clones that help. Like, it's just Aghanim's plans going against him. He's like, there's 3 of me, and he doesn't realize it just means there's 3 times as many hits you can do on him.
Yep, we're about to see a, hopefully, sub 2 hour full clear seed, essentially.
Yep, that's pretty good for how much of the seed they had to clear. Ganon likes encouraging thinking inside of the box for now.
Making some sort of a quote. I don't know what that's from. Or if it's just something Vitor threw in.
I mean, it seems sort of appropriate for Randomizer sometimes. Let's see, how trolly will the teleports be? Ooh, he's teleporting a lot. He's teleporting a hell of a lot. He's making this take longer.
Yep,
oh, wow,
Ganon teleports.
Really
very good addition.
DarkDyllon, meanwhile, is getting around to checking the pedestal and is going to be extremely frustrated at the fact that this is the
I can feel the rage.
Pausing for a bit there, and going straight back into clearing those final pendant dungeons.
That's too bad.
And
yes, we did
in fact find those arrows. Ooh, torch glitch with the fire rod. That's nice.
been getting a little bad luck here with Ganon teleports.
Yeah, there's not been much. It hasn't been much of a setup for doubles or even triples here. He should need
Finally.
one more arrow, and he's done. And yep, he's not done with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 5 seconds. Good game.
Yeah, good game.
And what does the Triforce say? GG.
And DarkDyllon GG's as well.
And DarkDyllon also landed a GG in the IOC chat after Ninban did his dot done.
I'm wondering if we can get DarkDyllon in for an interview.
Well, let's try asking him, I say.
Why not? I don't actually know how to do that.
Yeah, I'm not certain if I can actually drag him in here myself, but I imagine somebody can. He will be joining us for an interview in a little bit, and we can talk about what a fun and exciting and especially quick seed this was. And there he is. Hello.
Hey there.
Congratulations on your victory.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
That was an interesting one to watch.
Hey there. I'm just hearing you now.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, that was a pedestal boost, man. That was something.
Yep. Yeah, it was something, alright. It's not something you see very often, but here it was.
Yeah, I'm wondering, first and foremost, what you were thinking when you saw that. Gotta go fast.
I can honestly tell you that at that time I was actually paying attention to the other stream and I missed it until Rubel pointed it out to me.
Well, actually, what was I thinking is that if DarkDyllon had gone to pod before me and found the boots there, then I was kind of done for, because all the other dungeons were go moddable.
Yep.
But then when I saw the boots on the pedestal, it was like, oh, it's so fast to do all this.
You got it was very nice, and it actually ended up paying off for you really well, because you ended up finding the fire rod a lot later than DarkDyllon did, and because of that you already had the book by the time you cleared Skullwoods, while DarkDyllon did not.
Right. Yeah, we're talking about
that. Yeah, DarkDyllon ended up making the unfortunate decision of leaving a bunch of pendant dungeons after checking for all the items. And, well...
Alright.
Yeah. On your end, wasn't it... You cleared Thieves' Town and brought Blind to the... Blind to the boss room. You also visited Hera and left it after the first couple items. So were those choices going through your head at all, as potential places where your opponent could have made up a lot of time?
Yeah, of course. Well, Thieves' Town, I completed it and I left the boss in the boss room just in case it was a pedestal seed, because I knew at the time he didn't have an item. As for Hera, I just didn't want to do the basement.
Yeah, no, that is understandable. We were both talking exactly about how long it takes to go through a tile room.
Yeah.
Yet another seed where Hera basement is pretty important.
Pretty important.
Yeah, DarkDyllon also had the problem of not having the bow when he did Palace of Darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
He opted to leave Misery Mire until later because it is one of the harder dungeons in the game and you don't want to go into there underprepared.
Yeah.
Of course, it made itself really easy by the bow being in there and silver arrows already having been found, but he did not know that beforehand.
In the early game, I was worried about not going to Eastern Palace early.
Oh yeah, it's.
I went in very late after Mire, and I never did Hyrule Castle.
So, I'm wondering. We were talking about this. Obviously, Eastern Palace is a major source of anxiety early on, like whether or not you check it, and if you don't check it, if there's a major item inside, could it lead to something really big or important? And in this case, it had flippers. So I'm wondering, did you think about immediately going into Swamp Palace at that point, thinking that maybe you're playing the seed, maybe that the seed is telling you, okay, you have the flippers, and you have the hookshot early, and you have the mirror early, and you have the hammer early. Maybe you should do Swamp, and maybe boots are in there. Like, were you thinking about going there early, or were you just kind of just taking dungeons off as you got to them?
No, I was just taking dungeons off as I got to them.
Okay.
I felt like as Ice Full Clear versus Swamp Full Clear was about the same, and I needed to do both anyway to find the boots.
Yep. Yeah, because you ended up full clearing, well, every single pendant dungeon, well, not pendant, crystal dungeon, except for the palace. Yep. All those really long dungeons. And DarkDyllon, meanwhile, bombs the pedestal because, well...
It might be dark.
I understand.
In disguise.
Yeah.
His reign of terror knows no limits.
Yeah. Master Boots was an unfortunate item. Because it's also one of those items that just can be anywhere in the world, so checking the pedestal for it really isn't the first thing on your mind.
Right. Were you annoyed at the fact that, unlike many version 26 seeds, Total Rock didn't really give a huge benefit? And that you ended up having to spend a lot of time in that laser bridge room?
Yeah, a little bit, but I chose to do Turtle Rock early because Full Clear and Go Mode are almost the same in that dungeon. Right. So I was like, it's not a big gamble to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so if it gives me something, it's good. If it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, this seed was very interesting with its pendant dungeons, just because either through blocking off items in later dungeons, or just in the case of Hera, making people not want to do them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of you really cleared any pendant dungeons until pretty late into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the difference ended up really being in just when you could check the pedestal.
And I felt like this wasn't a V24 seed because almost every item were in the overworld.
Yeah, it was incredible amount of items in the overworld. Like, you had so many different choices on where to go at any given time.
Right. We were saying this it was a V18 seed in disguise because, or at least early on, because
like early on, I was going on about, hey, let's see a 30-minute go mode, and well,
about that.
I think I got my first restore. What was it, 40 minutes in or something like that?
Yeah,
and almost every dungeons were opened.
At first, I was wondering if our tracker was slacking. But no.
A tracker was definitely on track for the entire thing.
All right.
Anyway, how does it feel to have won your first race in this particular tournament?
Hey, it's really nice.
Yeah.
What can I say? I'm very looking forward to the other races.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This is going to be a very large tournament. To put it in perspective, this is something like they ran out of letters in the alphabet to assign
literally.
groups to.
Yeah, exactly. Like a couple of people are in like groups A. What was it, F or something at the limit? It was pretty far.
Right. Yeah. It's that there's like over 100 groups in this tournament, and to put it in perspective, the previous tournament, which was in the spring, I think went up to Group U.
Yeah.
I was in the second to last group, Group T. So yeah.
Yeah, I ended up not getting into the randomizer until after that tournament. It was already well underway.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of randomizer in this tournament and in the as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a very busy.
It's gonna be super busy.
I think we're seeing a lot of interesting seeds lately with just the beginning of this tournament and the main tournament too.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of version 26. Going back to V18 and how that was, a lot of the seeds tended to look very similar.
That's
like Ice Rod might troll you, like Cane, like the Red Cane, Canis Maria might troll you, but it was never like, oh, I need to go into Total Rock to get the mirror to do Swamp,
if you saw
Ether to go into Misery Mire to get Bow, etc.
Yeah, if you saw Total Rock was a crystal, you could basically safely assume, oh, I'm gonna do that as the final dungeon, and then just head west over to Ganon's Tower.
Mm-hmm. Now, the schedule for the secondary tournament, the groups are still 5-person, right? And is it still planning on getting all of the group stage done in 1 month?
I have no idea, actually. I imagine so. Like, people have been told to do approximately 1 race a week, so that would come down to taking about a month.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And I assume that'll probably switch to like a bracket stage after the fact.
Yeah. I imagine so. We'll get to the single elimination round, or whatever elimination rounds.
So DarkDyllon is finally
making his way up Ganon's Tower, and it's probably going to be enjoying the fact that he at least has the boots when he sees his big key location.
Yeah, and also took the same route, so got the gold sword as well. So he's fully decked out in terms of offensive and defensive gear. Opting to go up the stairs instead of mirroring out, I think it's about the same amount of time.
It feels about the same. You can dash straight up if you mirror back out, but I don't think it makes a big difference.
This is one of those things. I have no idea which is faster. I never timed these things.
I never timed it either. It's just
I just do what feels faster.
Yeah. Basically, for me, it feels more like a case of, oh, I'm on the mirror, I might as well just use the mirror, versus, oh, I'm not on the mirror, I'm just gonna walk back up.
DarkDyllon getting a benefit from that mirror shield on those mimics.
Yeah.
Not even having to manipulate their AI to have them face the other way.
Yeah, it makes them a little bit easier.
Damn. Ninban getting called out. But yeah, for a full clear seed, I think this time is definitely respectable.
Yeah, just finishing sub 2 in a full clear is very respectable.
Thank you.
Let's see how trolly good the gauntlet is.
Yeah, these three blue guys in particular tend to be really trolly. They were quite cooperative this time.
That was a thing. Like gauntlet was particularly trolly for Ninban.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now I've actually got the most important interview question now I think about it. Is it pronounced Ninban or Ninban?
Yeah,
Pretty much how you like. Because I'm
Well.
French speaking, so I pronounce both. Ninban or Ninban.
It doesn't really matter that I switched halfway through this commentary from saying Ninban to saying Ninban.
Really how you like.
I think I said it, or I pronounced it like 5 different ways over the course of this match, so it doesn't matter to me at least. Oh. Ah, good. Good second wizard.
Little wizard room, yeah. We're gonna see a lamp or fire rod user. Ooh, and the fire rod, spicy.
There's enough magic for it. If Slim
Yeah,
doesn't miss
magic
anything.
and everything. You can always grab the full refill in this next room, which he's definitely gonna have to do at this point. Also having to clear this one Helmazor for a key. Yeah. Should be smooth sailing from here. Of course, now we also have a question for DarkDyllon, whether he's gonna bother with the Foundation chest or if he's just gonna leave it there alone and abandoned. It does hold 20 rupees, he could use those.
DarkDyllon opting not to get that second fairy.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully,
sure. It should be okay, I think, with this amount of gear, but
validated.
yep. Boots picks up the 20 rupees from the Foundation chest.
And let's see how Agatu goes. Gets the triple double,
Yeah,
or
it was
the double triple.
It's very nice to see you get that first triple, I gotta say, because this isn't the easiest formation to get that. Ooh, and DarkDyllon also got it. Nice.
I don't know if that was a triple.
Yeah, I'm not certain if it's actually counted, but it looked like all 3 balls hit at least.
What'll be interesting is if maybe in a future version of the randomizer that they could have the randomized seed dictate the warps that Aghanim does.
Actually.
Oh,
like, I'm pretty certain they both had the same.
It was pretty much the same as I had.
Yeah.
Maybe they do that. Do that. I just haven't been paying attention.
But let's see. It's time for Ganon. It reminds us that thinking outside of the box is not really encouraged right now. I suppose figures with pedestals here. He's just telling you just actually do all the dungeons this time. Hey, look, a bunch of people for whom it's 1:14 AM. Guess what the time is over here where I am? It's actually also 1:14.
It is currently 7:14 PM Eastern Coast America.
Yeah.
Same for me.
Hopefully this is a quick
I believe
phase.
After that first teleport, it wasn't too bad anymore. Yeah, just going for the safe lamp lighting of the torch glitch, just a little easier to pull off.
Barely
Got
missing
an
that.
accidental silverless hit there.
Yeah, he barely missed the hit in the center of the room, which would have allowed him to get the double.
Yeah, that's a shame, but it's all over now. Goodbye, Galen. You kept us entertained for a good 2 hours and let's see what the official time is. It's 2 hours, 15 minutes and 15 seconds. GG.
GG. Just asking DarkDyllon if he wants to do an interview.
Yeah, might as well. And he's also willing to join us, so, well. We'll have him in here shortly and we can ask him on his thoughts on this particularly fun seed.
Oh, he's in the waiting room?
And there you go.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Good
Shame
game,
about
man.
that seed.
Yeah, it's a shame about that seed. We were
Pedestal,
really... Yeah, we were really sad for you, because we were really sad for you when you abandoned Tower of Hera
Shame
after
about
getting all
that
the
seed.
items in there. Yeah, it's a shame
Yeah,
about that
and also
seed. We were
Thief Stone
really...
and when I just build on blind.
Yeah, we were really sad for you, because we were really sad for you when you
Like I saw that last
abandoned,
item in Thief
Tower
Stone,
of
it's like,
Hera
yeah,
after getting all
getting
the
out of
items
there.
in there.
Your opponent actually did the same thing. Well, similar thing. Ninban got blind and took blind to the boss room and cleared out all the other items, but just left the dungeon. Your opponent actually did the same thing. Well, similar thing.
Like, I kind of ruled out
Ninban
that Pedestal would be
got blind and
boots,
took
but
blind to the
then I
boss
looked
room
again
cleared
and
out
was
all the
like,
other items, but just
actually,
left the dungeon.
Desert Palace is a crystal dungeon,
instead of
so
fighting blind.
yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Still felt that Total Rock would be a better choice to go for than checking Pedestal in the end.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of just a tragedy, and we were talking about this earlier, and we were telling Ninban about this, but when you found Fire Rod early, right? Ninban didn't have it. It's kind of just a tragedy. For quite a while, and we were talking about this earlier, and we were Eastern Palace like well after he had Darkhold access. When you found Fire Rod, so he didn't do any of Skull Woods until he did most of Skull Woods to get all the items, but he didn't clear Skull Woods until he got Fire Rod. And by the time he had Fire Rod and went to Skull Woods, he had the book and the mirror, so he could easily just hop back and do the check. So the couple minutes of benefit you got from not having to do 2 Skull Woods actually ended up hurting you in the end.
Yeah, no book to check the Pedestal. Like, and even mirror, like, I forgot where the mirror was. Like, was still like in one of those places where you wouldn't check that soon.
Mirror was in
Wasn't it?
Thieves Town.
Yeah, it was Thieves Town.
I was kind like I wanted to check Thieves Town, but then the first 4 items, see if it was worth it to go into the bag, and it was kind of worth it. When the mirror came up, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check more overworld locations. Yeah,
I mean it's definitely valid to put off something like a pedestal check. Like, you shouldn't play every seed like as a pedestal. So it's just especially tragic when it turns out to be a pedestal seed, and you're running around doing all the stuff you don't have to do when the last item you need. Like you could have been you could have been in go mode essentially if you would have like just dropped everything and then ran to the pedestal.
A really long time. Like when I did the flute to go to Death Mountain, like I realized that it was actually possible, and I was like, should I just go back to check or not? It's like there's 5 items plus 6, mimic caves, so there's a decent chance actually it's just in there, which wasn't.
Yeah.
It was fairly close before that too. Like I feel like maybe
it just ended up being a case of Ninban checking the pedestal a lot sooner, just because of how his routing ended up working out, and that ended up making all the difference, sadly.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. Like I'm on record as saying I was hoping that.
You were definitely hoping really hard that the boots would just be in Hera.
Because Ninban decided to. He saw that the tile room was required in Hera and just noped out of there. So if boots were upstairs, I think that would have given you a huge advantage and would have brought the lead, I think, maybe back into your favor.
Yeah, if he would have built and the boots were indeed in like somewhere in the top, then yeah, that seed would be mine.
But this is part of the reason why they're groups and not like a single elimination.
Yeah.
So hopefully you get better luck in your next races.
Yeah, hopefully no pedestal seat.
Yeah.
Well, at least Well, at least the game gives me the book or something to check pedestal early instead of like when it actually they gave me. Well, when I decided to check where the book was.
That would also have saved you a lot of time on this one, because you ended up fully clearing basically all the pendant dungeons and then having to go back in to actually kill the bosses too.
Yeah. Like the problem just was that like none of the pendant dungeons like just had an item at the boss, so it was like, why would I even go there unless of course the boots?
Yeah.
So like I kind of didn't want to do like Maya that early, but I was like, I don't really got many options left. Which happily the bow was there, so
yeah,
Victorious was easy.
Like Victorious actually ended up being really easy, because you can imagine it being a little worrying to go in there with just the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
but
definitely.
Still, like getting like tempered in Turtle Rock and then butter and right side GT.
Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? Like,
it was nice seeing that tempered.
It's hard
tempered right before Trinex, so that was a godsend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as hard a time as the siege was giving you, it was nice that it at least ended up giving you a bunch of items at the end to make it a bit easier.
Yeah. That also kind of made it like faster to go back into the pendant dungeons. Actually, only Hera, but yeah. But overall, I'm kind of satisfied with the gameplay, like except for that one death.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but it happens.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to save and quit, earlier to just refresh the health, but it's like, got flute so early, so I'm just gonna go for it. Seeing flute like in was it Sick Kid?
Yeah, it was Sick Kid.
Yeah, it's like
super early.
Like wow, like the sea just wants me to go fast.
Gotta go fast.
And you need the boots.
It wanted you to go fast, but you weren't listening to it.
Like I kind of just froze when I read the pedestal and it's like gotta go fast. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I audibly gasped at that.
Like I was happy when I read that, but at the same time, like, damn it.
Yeah, it is always so unfortunate when you actually need to do the pedestal.
Yeah, like I was happy from the standpoint, I didn't miss any locations that would possibly screw me over, but then, also returning to every pen and dungeon I skipped. Yeah. But still.
Anyway,
was still
think
kind
it's
of funny seeing the blue portion like at the Lumberjack.
yeah. Anyway, I think it's about time we wrap this one up.
Yeah.
So I would just like to give a quick shout out and recommend anyone in the channel to follow our races, which I believe has a handy bot command.
Yep. Also follow Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 3, Randomizer Mania, Randomizer Mania 2. I don't know if, I think there's, Randomizer Mania 3, Randomizer Mania 4.
Really?
And Speed Gaming 4 to get all of your Link to the Past randomizer action, because there's going to be a whole lot of it.
I have to follow more then. I only follow Randomizer, Mania, and Speed Gaming 1 and 2.
Also follow our commentators and our tracker. I think they made an amazing job. I could not listen to them during the run, of course.
Anyway, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, I hope you've got low. I hope you'll get a bit more luck on your next race.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope
that's a charm. That's a charm of randomizers, though.
Yeah, and I hope Ninban continues to get lucky and play well. I think both of you played very well.
Just this was probably one of my most solid, in terms of gameplays. Like normally I just mess up a little bit more.
Yeah, you both played very solidly. It's just a small routing difference ended up making a very large difference.
Yeah. And anyway, I'm gonna have to go to bed. Got school tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty late for some of us.
Good game, guys. Good race.
Thanks.
And I guess we'll see you next mission.
Yeah.
All right, GG.
GG. See you guys.